This is Barb Pitcock, Saturday morning, every Saturday morning, 9 a.m. No guts, no stories. So if you're just watching this for the first time, drop in the comments and say first time watching. And if you've been watching for a while and you know about my Saturday morning broadcast, I'm sure that you're very well aware that we get together every Saturday morning with positive, empowering thoughts that we put in our brain to replace all the negative that's going on. We always move forward. We're always growing and learning. And my passion and my purpose is to nurture people with their mental mindset. I have been doing this since 2006. I rarely miss a Saturday morning, and it's absolutely free. So drop in the comments and let me know how many years have you been watching this Saturday morning No Guts, No Story broadcast. And if you would do me a big favor, up in the corner, there's 3 little dots. If you're watching this live, you can just hit on the dot and hit follow. I'm challenging myself to see how we can grow this following, because if I just share with you, we're not reaching that many people. But if you share it, it's not just my friends, but maybe you have 200 or 300 friends and they all need someone to show up with that emergency kit. Open up the little nurse's kit, right? Take out the shot of positive and put it right into their veins, because people don't have a lot of positive. So let me just give you that little shot of good, that little dose, that little hit of positive good dopamine in your brain this morning, and let's get started. So 3 days ago, I started something. I was leery about doing it because I'm so busy right now. So busy right now. In fact, my hair is still wet. This is not my normal get ready with me. This is not my normal no guts, no story. I'm working so hard right now, literally around the clock. And I normally have this daily method of operation that I get up and do. But I'm challenging myself to do more, to be more, to grow more, to make a bigger impact. And I want to challenge you guys to grow with me, if you will. Who wants to grow? Drop in the comments, I want to grow, or just put the word grow. I will send you, if you put the word grow, I will send you this list of 10 things in case you missed day 1 and day 2 of what we're going to do to really change our lives by changing our minds. Change your mindset, change the way you think, change the way you act, the way you earn, the way you love, the way you attract, the way you impact, everything growing and going up by 2024. So who's excited for a new year? I can't wait for the new year. Literally, I'm like a little kid counting down the calendar to 2024, but I'm also very grateful for every day that we have in 2023, and even every day from the past, because it molds you, it sculpts you. Imagine a potter with some clay, and this potter is like, oh, they're on the wheel. They're like, this is perfect. I'm developing a masterpiece. And they think it's the masterpiece, and then all of a sudden there's a big rock or a big chunk, or there's a bubble in it. And no matter what they do to try to smooth it out, they just can't get it to be a masterpiece. Well, every single one of us is like that. We have flaws, we have rocks, we have chunks, we have holes, we have bubbles. And the thing is, sometimes the only way for our creator to create our destiny and our masterpiece is to take it off the potting wheel, crush it, mat it, smash it, knead it, roll it, destroy everything that was and create a brand new ball of clay that will then be molded to be even better, even stronger, even more valuable because of what it's been through. It's been through the process. Perfection is not something any of us are ever going to reach, right? It's something that we strive for in our health, in our finances, in our relationships, in our faith, in our raising of children, in everything that we do. We strive for it, but expectations is what creates the disappointment over and over and over again. I'm telling you, I could write an entire book on this. So the sun is coming up. You guys see the lines on my face? That is the shutters in my office. Let's take one little break here. 1 minute. I'll be right back. Let's move the shutters so you all don't have some weirdness going on watching me for the next few minutes. Okay, so let's get started. We're going to jump right in. 2 days ago, today's day 3, we started a challenge, a mindset challenge. If you missed the first 2 days, just drop in the comments the word challenge, and I will send you the last 2 days. I have a little assistant that is amazing. Actually have several right now helping me keep up with everything that's happening. One of them, my little niece, came on board yesterday, and she's literally in the middle of my social media now helping me. I was missing birthdays and anniversaries, and I even missed my sister-in-law's anniversary on Halloween, just not present on Facebook. All of us can only do so many things, but in this next generation, in this next decade or 100 years, wealth is really going to be measured differently than how it was maybe 100 years ago. You think 100 years ago, it was all about your land, it was all about your grain, it was all about your oil, your seed, whatever it was. In this next era of our lives, it is said, and I'm not a great, book smart person, but I've been studying this, and our wealth is going to be determined by how many people we can influence and impact. Because the true wealth is going to come from your network that you can reach, that you can touch, that you can communicate. Maybe it's who you market to, maybe it's who you empower. Whatever it is, it's all based on your network and your reach. And when you think about that, ask yourself, what is it like right now in your mind when you wake up every day? And this is why we're doing this challenge. What takes over your brain? And for most of us, it's this RAS system, which is a really, really big word, your reticular activity system. I've been learning about this, right? So our reticular activity system, our mind, goes to things every single day on default. Your brain is on default, doesn't even know it's doing it, and it's running your entire life. It's running your entire life. So I have several devices going today. I have Facebook, YouTube, LinkedIn, Instagram. I have like 14 cameras here in front of me. So excuse me if my eyes are going everywhere, but I'm going to make an impact. I am going to hit every platform and try to make a difference for someone else, like someone made for me. I had an incredible, amazing mentor in 1996 when I was bankrupt, when I was bouncing checks for baby formula, when my husband was a busted up bull rider and I had a beauty shop. That's a lot of B's, a broke beautician and a bull rider with a broken leg, right? The debts were high, the funds were low, the babies were coming like crazy. I had 3 babies in 4 years. And honestly, all I ever really wanted to be was this great mom. I wanted to have money to be able to decorate my home and entertain. I love to nurture. That's kind of my love language. I love to nurture. I love to entertain. I love Christmas and all the gatherings. And I like to make people feel good. Like just put your arms out and do a great big virtual hug and say, squeeze as hard as you can and say, Barb loves me. She likes to make me feel good. Well, love is one of my needs. And we all have needs. We all have needs that we need met. And we all have needs that we need to give. And we get them however we have to get them, good or bad. And I'm going to go back over the 10 things for those of you that might have missed. And I will send them to you if you put the word challenge. Number 1, all of us, before the new year, not on January 1, right now, we got to set some clear goals. Number 2, we have to be self-aware of what it is that we are doing on a daily basis to create this mindset we have, whether it's good or bad. Number 3, we have to practice. It takes so much effort to practice positive affirmations. I am well. My body is healed. I am valuable. I am important. I am beautiful. I am loved. I am smart. I am whatever it is that your word is. I am great. I am a good mom. I am an amazing wife. I am an incredible leader. I am a powerful CEO. I do the right things, right? We got to say these things to ourselves over and over again, because sometimes we've had people that have put the wrong message in our reticular activity system, and we started to believe those things. So you have to surround yourself, number 4, with all the positive things or people or YouTube or this broadcast We got to do something to put good in up here, like new jelly in an old donut. I've said that every day the last 3 days, and that's the best way that I can explain it. An old donut gets stale, stinky, moldy. It tastes sour. The fruit goes bad. It's rancid. It's yucky, yucky, yucky. But when you put new jelly in that donut, it's fresh. It's good. It's delicious. Like, we've got to do the same thing with our minds, with our brain, and it takes effort. So number 4, you have to surround yourself with positivity like you're doing right here. Number 5, embracing gratitude. I don't care how bad it is. I don't care how bad it is. If I wrote you a book of my November 2022 all the way up to my November 2023, you would think I was lying. Nobody would believe it. It was right hook, left hook, right hook, left hook, stomach jab, put her head underwater, see if we can get her to not be able to breathe anymore, kick her in the stomach, throw her out. That's how I felt was happening in my life. Like, I had no control. Like, I literally feared that the enemy was going to win because he would not stop. If he couldn't get me with my finances, he would get me with my family. If he couldn't get me with my family, he would get me with someone's health. If he couldn't get me with death and grief and addiction and recovery and all this stuff, abuse, like everything was happening. And I was just like, what just happened to my movie? Like, there was such a plot twist. I was like, I never saw this coming. How could I be so naive? How many of you guys can relate with this? Drop in the comments one word that describes the trauma that you've been in, that you really just want to get out of your brain, get it out of your head. You just want to go get a brand new chapter, right? That was a chapter. That wasn't our whole lifetime. And I want to help you set yourself up for 2024 to be all good, all amazing. Your health, your finances, your mindset, your marriage, your relationship with your children or your siblings and your family. I want to help you have impact. I want to help you to reach people. You have a gift inside of you that has been pushed down because of your RAS. I love this new word, reticular activator system. And it's on default. It's on default, and it can't get into directly, deliberately thinking. And the reason why is because you've been challenged and you have limiting beliefs. And that's number 6. You've got to challenge those limiting beliefs. And the only way to take away, my coworkers don't like me, I'm not valuable at work, I'm not a good mom, I'm not a good wife, I'm not a very good sister, I'm not good with my money, I'm not smart, I'm too old, I might as well give up, I'm not good at this particular trade, nobody wants me. Like, all of these things that we start to think, those are self-limiting beliefs that have been stacked based on evidence of who got in your reticular activator system. So all these people said, you're a horrible mom. I can't believe you would do that for your kids. You and your husband are blah, blah, blah. You're a bad CEO. You suck at your finances. You're never going to show up. Your faith has dwindled to nothing. Like, whatever people have told you, you start to believe that. And maybe some of it's true. That's the thing. You're like, is that true? Maybe some of it's true. But you realize that just like that, we can change our mindset, change our life, because our thoughts is what makes this autopilot, if you will, this default thing that we do. It's why we do what we do. It's because of the way that we think. So I want to challenge you. Number 7 is to embrace every failure that you've ever had. Maybe you were an addict and you stole from your family. Maybe you cheated on your spouse and you lied, and everyone knows that, you were not faithful. Maybe you got fired from a job. Maybe you were sloughing. You really weren't that good at your job and you got fired. Maybe during COVID, you maxed out all your credit cards and now you're in financial ruins. Maybe you haven't been to church in so long, you don't even feel worthy, to go to church. That's the biggest lie that could ever get put in your brain, because you can be in church right here in your own home and just have a conversation. But some people will say, oh, I'm a heathen. There's no way, like, God's not going to bless me because I've been such a bad person. All of these failures that we embrace and we think about, I want you to imagine if God allowed those to happen to you so that you had the best story. It's like the blockbuster movie. It's like the best-selling Netflix series because people can relate to you. They're like, oh my gosh, if that happened to her, that's exactly what happened to me. I can't believe there's someone else out there that went through this. And then all of a sudden, there's two of you that have the same beliefs. And you believe that if you embrace that failure together, you could team up and make the movie, make the book, make the difference, do the podcast. You guys, the most influential people. Wealth is measured by the people we serve, not by the money in the bank. We are on this planet. This is just my theory. Take it or leave it. Call me a liar. This is what I choose to believe in my reticular activator system. At the end of this life, money will be gone in an instant. And it'll take them a while because I'm planning on building an empire, but it will go away, right? The house, the cars, whatever, they'll wear out. They'll wear out. They'll be assets, but they're going to wear out. But the one thing that's never going away is the people that I served, the impact that I made, and the way that I witnessed about what's happened in my life. And I'm never shutting up about that. I haven't even gotten started on that. And I know that when I die, there will be all of these people that say, because of your mom, and they'll all be writing it, right? That's what my kids are going to be reading. I'm never stopping. You will not shut me up because my destiny, my purpose, my passion is making an impact and empowering people. Now, some people that look at me and my identity might say, oh, she owns all the CBD stores and they have a factory. Some people might look at me and say, oh, she's a network marketer. What is she selling now? You know, some people might look at me and say, they invest in real estate. They have a bunch of Airbnbs, you know, at the lake, and they love buying and flipping houses. Like Dave and I are like Chip and Joanna. What you don't know about me is that none of that really matters. I do that because it's like a hobby. It helps me to reach people. It helps me to have fun. Drop in the comment one hobby that you have that you just love to do that makes you feel good. Give me one. You guys would die if you knew the hobby I did the last 2 days. I decorated trees in a ladies' Christmas store just during my breaks for fun, just to get my algorithm of my own body, just to get my own mojo, just to get my rhythm of life right. I needed a reset. Any of you guys ever see a Rolex watch? You can't wind them. They have to shake like this. You either have to wear them all the time or you put them on a shaker, right? And the reason why is because they get their rhythm. And if they stop, you have to take them to a shop to get their rhythm reset. And some of you need somebody to take you to the shop and get your rhythm reset because you've just been so complacent for so long based on the limiting beliefs, based on the failure that you had. You don't even know how to go from the where you're vibrating to the next notch, let alone all love, all good, vibrating at your optimal, like the highest that you could get as far as frequency. And someone messaged me last night, Barb, all this talk about frequency, is that like some new age chakra thing that like goes against Christianity? You guys, my entire rhythm of life is based on my belief in my faith, 100%. And there is no other spirit that I am even thinking about worshiping, right? But I will tell you, love is the highest vibration of all. And this world lacks it. Love, when you are all love, you have forgiven everybody. Everybody forgives you. Everything is good. All love, all good, all the time. Nothing can stop you. But most people don't even have 10% of that happening in their life. They're down here. They can't be all love because it's not fair what he did, what she did. They can't be all love because they're still carrying around all the baggage. Like I go on a trip. I don't know why, you guys. I think I got to have a carry-on, a massive purse, this suitcase for all of that, this suitcase just in case of that. You should see me. I have to get the XL Uber when I'm just traveling by myself because I take everything. And it's such a hassle. I'm hauling it all along. It won't fit in the trunk. Then I got to get a bellman or someone else to carry it around. I don't know why I'm that way. I just like to have all my stuff. 3 devices in case one goes bad, 2 phones, 5 chargers, this makeup bag, a spare one in case my luggage gets lost. Like I got all the stuff. it's a lot of work carrying all that around. About got to hire someone just to do it for me. But you guys are doing that with your past. And the more luggage we carry and the more baggage we bring and the more in the backpack, we want to load it all up. We just want to keep carrying it around. We can't get to point B from point A because this load is so heavy we can't get going. Embrace all your failures. And I want you to do this simple practice on number 7, embracing failure. I want you to do this every day for the next 18 days in the shower. When you get in the shower, I want you to think of this past version of yourself that you were before you did the mindset challenge. This girl that was unorganized, this girl that didn't communicate, this girl that didn't take care of herself, this girl that wasn't practicing positivity, or this guy, the one that wasted their time watching TikTok instead of finding a good YouTube or a good podcast. Like, you were on default then, but now you're not. Now you're practicing, you're mastering this, everything good going in this mindset challenge. Because number 8 is going to be practicing visualization. But first we have to embrace the failure. So I'm doing this every day in the shower for 21 days. Today we're on day 3. If you're just jumping in, drop the word challenge. I'll get you everything you need to catch up. We get in the shower. Water is hitting us and we're thinking of the old version, right? The old version. Why was she that way? Anything that you're ashamed of. What did she need at that point in her life that she didn't have that I, this new version of myself, could give to her? I could give her forgiveness. I could give her knowledge. I could give her strength. I could give her encouragement. I could give her a tool, something positive. I could give her a great product. I could give her grace. Like in the shower, as the water is washing away all the old, and you just pray. You just stand in there by yourself. Some of you may cry for an hour. And what I do, I put on something good. Right when I hit the bathroom, I have a little speaker, or I drain my iPad. This is why I have so many devices, because I constantly have to have all the good going, right? Sometimes it's just a simple praise and worship song. If you don't know how to pray, just turn on one that's really, really good. I love Ray Bolt's Watch the Lamb. It takes me right back to what's the most important thing. You know, I love Sandy Patty, Thank You. There's a song called Thank You. And I always think of my grandma because she literally drilled into me, like, I'm going to get this girl a strong foundation before I die. And then I think I need to do that for my grandkids, right? What is your favorite song? Drop in the comments, what is your song that when you listen to it, it just gets you going? For some of you, it's Are You Ready for the Comeback? You know, for some of you, it's Anne Marie. For some of you, it's Barry Manilow. Like for some of you, whatever that song is, that's just the feel good song, right? And some of you, I know what your song is. But when you have challenges, it's hard to change the mindset because we can't see ourselves outside of this chapter. So practicing visualization is number 8. Now we're going to stop on this one for a minute. There's 2 ways that you practice this to reset. You're going to master visualization. You're going to reset this reticular activator system that makes our thoughts go the way they go, makes us believe about ourselves the way we believe. 2 ways. Default, autopilot. You're just going through the motions. You don't even know you're doing it on a daily basis. Or direct, present, in control, in the moment. Repeating what you're doing is just going to be default, or you're going to evolve. You're going to evolve and reset, deliberately choosing your thoughts. We're going to deliberately choose our actions. We're going to deliberately choose what's happening in this reticular activator system. And what it takes is practicing visualization. So you're going to do this in the morning. You're going to do it at night. I'm telling you, you can read the Bible front to back. There is nothing in there that says that the Lord doesn't want to bless your life with good. And don't feel guilty. Oh, if I made that money, that would be bad. If I wrote that book, like, who am I to think? You know, ego is when you're edging God out. But I'm telling you, when you're humble and you come to him and you say, I need you. I want a shift. I want to change my life. I want to experience something different. I don't care what you do or how you do it. You don't have to go to a building to do it. You can do it in your closet, in my opinion. Some people are going to argue with me. I don't care. I don't have to be right, right? But this has worked for me. This has worked for me. Visualization blocks out and reprograms, blocks out all the negative beliefs, the self-limiting beliefs that I wasn't enough, I would always be broke, I had been through a bankruptcy, my name was trash, I grew up on the wrong side of tracks, I didn't go to college, I didn't have a dad, like all of those things, right? Those were self-limiting beliefs. I wasn't the best dancer in dance class. I wasn't that good in sports. Like, who cares, right? Who cares? Because at the end of the day, that wasn't my destiny. But guess what I am good at? I had to visualize moving to the country, having 3 little children, meeting the man of my dreams. I will tell you, there was a time in 1989 and 90 where I was involved in a company. I went to a lot of seminars. I dreamed of being that girl on stage. I dreamed. This couple was from Garden City. Their last name was Pointner. I remember it so well. I would read their success story. They had a helicopter pad. Not that I need a helicopter pad, but they lived in the country. My friend and I would drive around looking for their house. We would go to Garden City looking for their house. I wanted a mentor. I wanted a coach. I wanted to have this family that they would go on stage, share their story. They had this amazing, beautiful family. You could tell her husband really loved her. She was funny. I would be like, one of these days, I want to be like that. And you guys, I was in a relationship at the time. I didn't have any idea, with someone who would never have children, couldn't have children. And I couldn't understand why everything was so hard. I was just forcing it and nothing was working out for me. Well, can you imagine that God's destiny for me was to not have children? I can't even imagine my life without being a mom and a grandma. Like, it is everything that makes me have joy, right? So the Lord knew what he was doing, but it was painful. It was horrible, actually. It was one of the worst chapters of my life, but I visualized myself being successful, finding the right man, having these children, living in the country. And it was like a butterfly coming out of a caterpillar, how it happened. Just like that. It was the power of visualization, prayer, and belief, and listening, right? Because when God first said, oh, you should do this and run away with a rodeo cowboy and go to Wyoming and close your dance school and shut down your salon and lose everything, I was like, no, God, not my type, right? And then Dave and I became best friends before anything. And we just did the unthinkable. Like, we just literally ran away together, both called off our weddings. Like, everyone thought we were crazy. But we were praying. We were in the Word every single day, and we were believing. And Dave was teaching me at the time, and I was like, who are you talking to? Like, I went to church 3 times a week with my Baptist grandma, and Dave was like new to this knowledge, and he was teaching me and training me and nurturing me. And together we were these 2 young, in my book, I say 2 sparrows in a hurricane, because that's literally what we were. But we learned to visualize what we wanted, even when it was against all odds, and to literally manifest a life of our dreams. And in 1996, we had a mentor. I will tell you, meeting that man changed everything in my life, and friends. And you've got to take care of yourself. You've got to take care of yourself, but you've got to look around at your environment. So number 9 is taking care of yourself. This visualization has a lot to do with that. You have to see yourself worthy. You have to take time out and set boundaries. You have to say no to all the things that are non-income producing time wasters, so that you can work on yourself and that you can start to attract the wealth and bring the value that you need to bring. And number 10, you got to be consistent. So there's 2 ways that we can do this: default mode or deliberately thinking mode. So we're going to start to stack evidence. And it's not an event, you guys. This is not a one-time training. It's a 21-day process, and we're going to do it together. There's a great book that I heard about. I just ordered it. Dan Colbert. He's a Harvard very smart man who wrote a book on mastering this RAS, and it's called Stumbling into Happiness. And I'm going to read it. I don't know. I'll let you guys know if it's good or not. But one of my mentors was talking about it because your brain will find opportunity. Your brain will look for, oh, is that a coincidence or am I supposed to talk to this person? Your brain will start to notice, all good things are starting to happen for me. Like I'm seeing them all around. And then you start to build momentum of stacking all the good beliefs that everything will work out and that things are going to be amazing and it is going to be your best year and you're not going to struggle anymore. And if your brain lets in everything, that can't happen. That's why we have to filter what happens in our brain. You look at your Facebook page every morning. I mean, this is why I hired someone to help me. I wake up, 5,000 friends over here, 35 friends over here, 10,000 people on Instagram, 54 group pages, 54 group pages. Some of them I'm not active in anymore, but it's all part of my network, right? And I get bombarded with, there's an ad, somebody's going live. Now I got 25 people. I'm going to miss their birthday if I don't go comment on here. Someone's going to feel not important. What if I miss her birthday? She's my one of 20 nieces, right? And I start to think this way. And all of a sudden, it's like your brain, it can't handle all the little things that are going in it. It just wants to explode. It's why you got to get busy reprogramming your brain. It's why I believe in what I believe in, what I'm doing right now. I've invested tons of money. I don't even want to talk about the amounts of money. We have sold homes. We have wired money. We have hired and wired, and we have done so much to get to this point for 2024, because I believe that frequency and the way that we are vibrating our body, it's all about your emotions. It's all about the tuning. It's why our organs shut down. It's why people have a nervous breakdown. It's why one day I was walking in my room and just collapsed on the tile floor for zero reason. Dave took me to ER. They said there's nothing wrong with her. But all of a sudden, my legs just went out from under me. And do you want to know what it was, you guys? I will tell you now. I wouldn't have told you a year ago. It was emotion, stress. Just all of a sudden, have you ever seen somebody where all of a sudden they have chronic back pain? All of a sudden, they can't roll over without someone helping them. All of a sudden, there's this one thing that hurts all the time. Because your emotions that you have every day attack every organ in your body. And vibrational frequency is our emotions, the music, the harmony, the way that we feel, the things that we're putting in. And when you look at water, my husband does an incredible training on this, wrote a book about it a long time ago, The Thinking Cure. When we look at water and we say, I hate you, you're ugly, you're horrible, you're worthless, and we push the glass, and then you go take a microscope and you look at that water, it's very distorted and disturbed. If I play Metallica as loud as I can, or some metal music, which I'm not saying there's anything bad with it, but it changes the molecules. It changes the way that the water looks under a microscope. Where if I'm over here and I'm playing harmony and a beautiful organ and I'm all love and there's no hate and there's no anger and there's no fear and there's no stress and I'm just nurturing all of this up, that water looks different under a microscope. 100%. It's different when you're saying, I hate you, you're ugly, you're worthless, you screwed up, you have a horrible past, compared to you're amazing, you're beautiful, you're strong, you have everything you need, you're awesome. I'm telling you all that right now. You're freaking amazing. And I want you to be vibrating up here where it's all love, it's all good all the time. But you have to be in charge of this RAS, reticular activator system. So you're going to start to speak up at work. You're going to start to go to the gym. You're going to start to say, don't talk to me like that. No, I'm not a piece of crap. Don't talk to me like that. Did you forget who you're talking to? You're going to start to say, that person probably want to join up with me. That person probably want to marry me. That person probably want to, hang out with me all day because I'm just that fun. Like, you're going to start to have so many good beliefs about yourself, and you're going to be vibrating so high. You're going to give away more than you used to make. You're going to be able to visualize yourself moving into the home of your dreams. being with this person that absolutely adores you every single day. And it's all love all the time. And maybe you do have a family, or maybe you don't want to have a family. You're going to be able to go and do and be and have everything you ever dreamed of. But first, and I mean first, very first, you have to do the 10 things that we've discussed on this live every single day for 21 days, because it's going to take a while for you to get rid of all of that. I hate the overused phrase stinking thinking, but that's what it is, you guys. And you've got to say, who's rented all the space up here in my brain? Eviction notice, raise the rent, kick them out. Get around people that are loving on you, telling you how awesome you are. If you don't have those people, listen to this every day. I used to play Dave an audio cassette because Dave did not believe he was a good speaker. Dave did not believe he was powerful. Dave did not believe anyone would want to listen to him. He had a lot of negative programming beliefs. And I recorded him a little audio cassette. We were in direct sales. And, you know, it's funny because my mom and dad sold Lifetime cookware. My mom cleaned out the house she grew up in last week. They found cases of Nancy weight loss. I was like 5 when my grandpa sold Nancy weight loss. He got a free car. My grandma was a Fuller Brush lady. Like, we used to pull the wagon around the block and deliver everybody's Fuller Brush. But I never wanted to grow up and be in direct sales. I mean, even when I married Dave and he wanted to join a company, the first one I was like, no way. He didn't join it. The second one, he joined behind my back and came home and said, I'm doing this. Like, you would think it would have been me, but I had these self-limiting beliefs that I had been involved in several companies before we got together, failed miserably. I suck at it. I can't sell anything. I give everything away free, so I never make any money. I love the product so much. I would buy more than I made because I was in a Christmas Around the World company at the time. And I look back on that, you guys, I was saying all these self-limiting beliefs, but yet I was trying to visualize myself being successful, getting married, living in the country, having these 3 little kids on a farm, and everything I was visualizing, I wanted, but everything I believed about myself said, you can't have that. And one day I learned visualization. One day I had a mentor say to me, you're freaking amazing. And I would be like, I'm not. Every time I get on stage, I just cry. And I remember he said to me, that's because you're emotional. And emotion means there's something in there that's stirred up. And I was like, you mean it's not my hormones? I had 3 babies in 4 years. I was pregnant with a microphone and a little carrier, one crying in the carrier, one sitting in the front row on Nana's lap. You know, like, this was my life. Definitely not voted most likely to succeed. Bouncing checks, arrested for a $7 formula check at my daughter's birthday. You guys, I had to take all of that. And I'm not one bit ashamed. I don't even care what you say about me, because I know that I know that I know. I'm a child of the Most High God, and I am going to make so much impact in this world. And you are too. I just got to get you to believe this. So my mission on this 21-day run is that I can give you just a little bit of what somebody gave to me that helped me go from poor, pathetic, penniless, struggling, debts are high, funds are low, relationships are like, get off work on Friday night, go sit around a campfire with everyone complaining about the somebody done somebody wrong song, drink their 12-pack of beer, talk crap on everybody they work with, discuss everybody else's life in the little small town. Hello, that's not abundance, you guys. But so many people are stuck hanging around people that wait for the weekend to go do whatever they do, to wake up feeling like crap on the next morning and then wonder why they can't get out of the rut. It's like a bucket full of crabs. Like, you got this bucket. This is a bucket full of crabs, right? And there's this crab in here. And he keeps trying to crawl out. And right when he gets to the top, someone goes, nope, get back down in there. Get back down in there. Get back down in there. And you want to know why? Because all the other crabs in the bucket don't want you to get out and have this life where you're not in a bucket. Over there, you see a pond. And beyond the pond, there's a bigger lake. And beyond the lake, there's a great big ocean. But instead, you want to stay in this little bucket. And the bucket is your mindset. It's your habits. It's the people that you've allowed to have an impact on you. And I'm not saying don't love those people. Some of them you just got to love from a distance, and you can still be around them, but you got to spend more time around people who have what you want. I had to get some new friends. They said you'll be the average of your 5 closest friends. Dave and I were like, we're in trouble. I wanted to stay married. I had to get around somebody with a good marriage. I wanted to make more money. I had to get around other people that made more money than me. I wanted to have freedom. I had to get around people that had freedom. I wanted to be my own boss. I had to get around somebody that was actually their own boss. I wanted to be healthy. I had to get around people that lived a healthier lifestyle, because if you're hanging around 4, you're going to be number 5 of whatever it is you're hanging around. And some of you are like, I don't know how to get around those people. For now, it's YouTube. It's a Facebook Live. It's a podcast. Eventually, you're going to get to an event. Like I said, this 21-day mindset is not an event. It is a process over 21 days. And I'm going to be bringing it every single day for 21 days. So I encouraged all of you to get a bracelet around your arm. This is what Dave does in the book he wrote, The Thinking Cure. I have a metal one, so it hurts really bad. You can just do a ponytail holder, and every time you have a negative thought, you snap that. I want to see pictures of the welts. I mean, I was literally like down to drawing blood on mine because I was so positive about my negative way of thinking, enthusiastically positive about it. They shouldn't do that. Why would they do that? She just needs to change. He just needs to stop, whatever it was. You guys, that has nothing to do with you. You don't have any problems. You're making everyone else's problems your problems. And this is where I had to find my own self-worth, my own happiness, my own new environment, my own plot twist. Because you can't change anyone around you except for you. So every time a negative thought, every time any self-limiting belief, snap, snap, snap. When you complain, and you will. I complained first thing this morning. Oh my gosh, Dave, why did I not get up earlier? I know better than this. I'm going to have to go do my live with wet hair. Right away, I have to go put money in a jar. If you have a jar and every time you complain, you have to put money in it, pretty soon you'll break that habit. It doesn't happen overnight, and it may never happen completely, but you'll become aware. Self-awareness is everything. So drop in the comments if you want to do the 21-day challenge. We are going to set our goals for 2024. Just put the word challenge, your self-worth. You're going to visualize what it looks like. When you say, I don't want to be broke anymore, you say, it feels so good to have a positive balance in my checking account. You are going to realize how you feel when you visualize having these things that you want so badly. When you start to visualize them, all of a sudden, they're going to happen. All of a sudden, they're going to happen. And when I say just like that, I mean, you won't believe how they happen. All of you need to journal because it's going to be an amazing ride. Every day for 21 days, you're going to see a big difference. And when I say what's up, you're going to say my income. When I say what's up, you're going to say my relationships. When I say what's up, you're going to say not the scale, it's going down, right? When I say what's up, I want you to think, what are you improving? Where are you growing? What's going in the right direction? And every day it's going to be a process, but we're going to quit complaining. We're going to quit draining. We're going to quit tearing down. We're going to be building up. We're going to be empowering. We're going to be positive self-talk every day for 21 days. And, you know, some of you might feel like you're being brainwashed, but I'll tell you, the best brainwashing I ever had in my life was my mentor saying, you're going to kill it. You're going to be amazing. You're going to make more money than you've ever made. You're going to have more fun than you've ever had. You're going to have the best friends you've ever had in your life. You're going to experience, do, be, and have everything you ever dreamed of if I can just get you to believe it. And he taught me visualization. So take this weekend, get yourself a vision board. I'm not kidding you. Go do it. I will guarantee you, Taylor Swift hit 1 billion as a woman. She had a vision board. Rob Dyrdek, he's going to be at 1 billion this year. The guy from Ridiculousness. Dave and I spent a day learning from him about 3 weeks ago. He said the first thing he did with his wife and all of his life, but him and his wife, vision board on the wall. He's got it. He wants to live to be whatever age. He reverse engineered his life, how it's going to be at 95 or whatever, all the way down by the months, the weeks, the hours, and the minutes. And when you watch him on TV, you wouldn't think that about Rob Dyrdek, but that is his secret to his massive empire and the reach that he has and the impact he's making on people. So your mindset is everything, you guys. 21-day challenge. What you get on the vision board, it is going to happen. So be careful what you put on there. And at the end of 12 months, next November, we'll look back. Last November, I took my vision board down and threw it in the dump. I threw it in an old shed. I just ached so bad and I hurt so bad and I was so tired of disappointment. And I couldn't understand why everything I imagined, my expectations was creating so much disappointment. It just was nothing but disappointment. And all of a sudden, the Lord said to me, like, patience, like, pray with discernment, patience. It doesn't mean that you won't get everything on your vision board. Sometimes He just takes you on a reroute of the GPS, but nothing's going to stop you from your destiny. Nothing will stop you from your destiny. And the only one that can is you. So I hope you guys have enjoyed this broadcast. My name is Barb Pitcock. It's called No Guts, No Story, every Saturday morning. In this next week or so, I'm going to be bringing a girl on who's actually running the New York City Marathon today. She's near and dear to my heart. We share a lot in common, and addiction has caused so much pain in this young girl's life. And she always went to New York City every year with her mom and dad. They always went on a trip for like the last decade. A lot has changed in her life, a lot of pain, but a lot of joy too. She got married this year. I was actually the pastor at her wedding. I preached their wedding, and it was such an honor. And she said to me, I'm going to run this New York City Marathon. If you know this girl, she's not necessarily a runner, but she challenged herself. And I'm praying for her today, you guys. Her mindset is, I'm going to cross the finish line. I'm going to be a champion. I'm not going to be sad at Christmas because we're not going to New York as a family. I'm going to be a champion because I'm in New York running a marathon. And you guys, I look at her story and her life. All the money she's raising is going to help people get into recovery for addiction. And she took her pain and she turned it into a purpose, and she developed a passion. And she's one of the most amazing young girls I know, like a daughter to me. So I'm going to be bringing her on here to share some of her story, her experience, how she did it, if she wins it, or what the whole plot twist is happening right now. But I'm believing that girl is going to cross that finish line with tears streaming down her face that says, I'm so proud of myself. I knew I could do this. And you guys, every single one of us needs something like that, that's pushing us, pulling us, waking us up in the middle of the night, makes us jump out of bed in the morning. We can't even sleep at night thinking about it because we visualize the movie. We're the one writing this screenplay. It's not a dress rehearsal. We're visualizing it where we're winning. And winning means you're happy. You just have this ideal goal that you're going for, and it's happening. So whatever that is for you guys, work on your vision board. I'll be coming at you every single day for 21 days. My name is Barb Pitcock. Thank you for listening. If you would do me a favor real quick, hit the share button. Tag a friend who you believe could benefit from the message that I shared today. And in the comments, would you do me a favor? Please do this for me. Put in the comments the one takeaway, the aha moment. Every time I hear a speaker, I try to get one-liner, just one little thing that I can't stop thinking about where I'm like, aha moment, like that was good. What was that for you? Please put it in the comments. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next week on No Guts, No Story. Have a great day, everyone.